It's high time that the government takes a look at the dividend distribution tax and get it removed from the tax code. The reason why I say this is the following. If you look at the imposition of dividend distribution tax in 1997, it was actually taken from the South African code at that time. And it was felt that the government was having a lot of difficulty in providing refunds for small taxpayers whose tax was deducted at source. It was felt that there was a lot of paperwork which the government had to see because there was physical filing of TDS certificates that was happening. And there was also question of various equity transactions. So it was thought that imposition of tax in the hands of the company would solve all problems for the government. Since then, we have seen a steady rise of the dividend distribution tax rate. It was imposed at a small percentage of 10% at that time. And today, as we speak, it has risen to 20+%, which makes the effective corporate tax rate in India upwards of 40%, which is absolutely unthinkable in a developing country like India today, where the investors are looking at investing, and also the shareholders, the foreign shareholders, as well as the domestic shareholders, are looking at the growth that India's story is to unfold. The tax was withdrawn for 1 year on the basis of various concerns and then reimposed the very next year. And as we look at the dividend distribution tax today, it is important to consider the following. We have moved away from the paper regime. There is no longer filing of TDS certificates required with tax returns, etc. So therefore, it's all on the computer, on the net. The department gives the credit for TDS on the basis of 26 AS. The treaty has been rendered otious. The foreign shareholders do not get the credit in strict sense of the tax that is paid in India. And the rates of tax under the treaty are also very different. Given the fact that we also have the cascading effect for this tax when you have multi-tier structures, and some of it is lost, the underlying tax credit is lost because of the treaty mechanism that it exists with India today. Most of the countries do not have underlying tax credit with India under the tax treaties. So for all these reasons, it is important for us to consider dividend distribution tax to be taken out. Also, given the fact that India is looking at a lowering of its tax rate going forward and doing away with exemptions, it is expected that the taxes would be subsumed into that rate. So once the entire accounting profits of a company get subjected to the maximum marginal rate of tax, there is no cause anymore for taxing companies again on dividends. So it is time that we look at abolishing dividend distribution tax, and there have been empirical evidence to show that such a tax is not required anymore.